Hello YouTube. This is my sixth video of my DVD collection. I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. The first DVD today is Me, Myself, and Irene. It is a comedy directed by the Farrelly brothers, and it stars Jim Carrey, Renee Zellweger, and it's basically Jim Carrey plays a Rhode Island state trooper, and he he ends up marrying his his high school sweetheart, and she ends up leaving him, and that ends up making him have split personality disorder. So he has one personality that's good, and then one personality that's evil. And of course, a lot of funny things happen after that. After it becomes like a schizophrenic. So of course, with the Farrelly Brothers movies, and also Jim Carrey starring in it. So there's a lot of funny physical comedy that happens, and um, I definitely recommend it. The movie's called Me, Myself, and Irene. The next DVD is called My Cousin Vinny, and it's a comedy starring Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio, Marissa Tomei, um, and it's a comedy, and it stars Joe Pesci, and he plays a lawyer, um, and he's not very conventional. He kind of like dresses up in like leather jackets, and he's not really the greatest lawyer in the world. Um, but his I guess his nephew, played by Ralph Macchio, and Ralph Macchio's friend, um, they I guess they just finished college, and they were going on a road trip, and they went to some convenience store in Alabama, and they they walked out of the store without paying for I believe it was like a can of, of some food, and so they left the store, and they drove away, and about 5 minutes later, the clerk that was working at the convenience store was shot and killed. And since they were driving the car that was very similar, or almost the same car as the people that actually committed the murder, they were actually brought into jail, and they were put on a murder trial, and so Ralph Macchio called Joe Pesci to be his lawyer, and a lot of funny things happen in the movie. And also, Marissa Tomei did such a great job in this movie that she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her role in this movie, and I think was very much deserved. And so I definitely recommend My Cousin Vinny. This next DVD is called Napoleon Dynamite, and it's kind of like a dark comedy, and it stars John Heater, and he is a high school student. He's kind of not very popular. Um, he doesn't really have a lot of friends. He his family is like very strange, and um, it's very dry humor in the movie. But I think the reason why a lot of high school students liked it was because I mean, some of the stuff that he did was kind of ridiculous, but I think if you watch it more than once, you kind of miss some things that you didn't see the first time. And I mean, I think the movie was okay. The movie's called Napoleon Dynamite. This next DVD, um, well, I'm not gonna go over this one, Unfaithfully Yours, with Dudley Moore. I didn't really watch that one. The reason why I got this DVD, it was actually a double feature, but the reason why I got it was because of the movie called Out to Sea, and that stars Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, and that's a comedy. And they play two men. Jack Lemmon, I believe, lost his wife, and so he's a widow, and Walter Matthau has been his friend for a long. Actually, I think his 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 brother-in-law actually, and so they actually Walter Matthau. He's a big gambler. He has a lot of gambling debts, and Jack Lemmon doesn't really like that part of him, and so Walter Matthau comes up with this scheme that in order to get on a cruise ship for 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 free, or actually it's either free or he gets a significant discount on the tickets. They they have to go onto the ship as dance hosts. So you can imagine the kind of funny things that happen on the cruise ship, and it's definitely one of the best comedies that Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau did together. Um, so Out to Sea, that's the movie. This next DVD is a very good movie. It's a drama. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness, and it stars Will Smith and also his son in real life, Jaden Smith. And this is actually a true story. Um, it's about a guy that really didn't have much money. He didn't. He only had a high school education, and he really wanted to be like a financial advisor or mutual fund investor or something like that. And he had to take an unpaid internship, and of course he had to raise his son, and he didn't have the greatest relationship with his son's mother, and um, it was a very good story. Will Smith was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for this role, and he was definitely deserving of that nomination. And it's a very good drama, and also a very good story for people to see. Um, the movie is called The Pursuit of Happiness. This next DVD is called The Replacements, and it's a comedy, and it stars Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman, and it's about an NFL team that was going on strike, and so they during the strike, the owner decides to hire a new coach played by Gene Hackman, and also they have to find a whole new team while they need to find like replacement players while the players go on strike. So he finds Keanu Reeves, who is a very good college quarterback, and so he becomes the quarterback of the team. And they find a bunch of players. Most of the players will like to fool around a lot, and they're not exactly the greatest human beings in the world. But I think the movie was all right. It's some funny parts in it. It's okay, I guess. The movie's called The Replacements. This next DVD is called Road Trip, and it's a comedy, and it starred Tom Green, Sean William Scott, and and it's basically about a college student that has a long distance girlfriend, and he well, since they live so far away from each other, he decides to do something with another girl, and they end up making a videotape of it, and so they he actually makes a separate video, planning on making a separate video of him just sending just a like a message to her and playing like a song on a guitar, and accidentally the tape tape that he made with another girl was accidentally mailed to her. So he takes his friends and he goes on a road trip, and he tries to stop the tape from getting to his girlfriend before she sees it. And of course, a lot of funny things happen, and Tom Green is his usual crazy self, and he does a lot of ridiculous things, and a lot of funny things happen in the movie. Sean William Scott is, of course, very funny in the movie, and I definitely recommend it. This movie was actually directed by Todd Phillips, and he was the same director of Old School and The Hangover. So you can expect a very funny movie from this director, and I definitely recommend this movie. It's very funny. It's called Road Trip. This next DVD is a comedy. It was written and directed by Mel Brooks. It's called Robin Hood Men in Tights, and it stars Carrie Elways as Robin Hood. And it's actually a spoof of obviously Robin Hood. And if you have seen Mel Brooks movies before, of course, he does a lot of different spoofs of different movies and genres, and I think a lot of funny things happen in the movie, and it was one of his last movies that Mel Brooks made. It makes fun of a lot of different things, and I definitely recommend Men in Tights. Actually, Robin Hood Men in Tights. This next DVD is called School of Rock, and it's a comedy starring Jack Black and Joan Cusack, and also Sarah Silverman is in the movie. And Jack Black plays a guy that plays guitar, and he's in a rock band, and they end up kicking him out of the band, and so he's unemployed and he's not sure what to do. So his roommate actually is a substitute teacher, and so one day that the school principal, played by Joan Cusack, she calls his house, and she calls his house, and actually he wasn't there, so he was going to take a message for his friend, but he finds out how much the job pays, so he says that he is his roommate, and he impersonates his roommate, and so he becomes the teacher, and a lot of funny things happen, in the movie with Jack Black, and I definitely think it's very funny, and so the movie's called School of Rock. This last DVD is called Smart People, and it stars Dennis Quaid, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Ellen Page, and it's kind of like a dysfunctional comedy. It kind of reminds me of like Juno or Sideways, and I think the movie's okay. The movie's called Smart People. Okay, those are the DVDs that I'm going to show you today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.